I know that some teachers are dismissing students from reading camp, but we'll wait maybe 2 more minutes. Okay, I see first grade teachers are here, second grade is here, third grade is here, fourth grade, I think Maka is online. Fifth grade is not here. Does anyone know what Esther is? Sixth grade is here. Mm-hmm. You can say general education. Seventh grade, Ben is here. No, Eileen. Okay. Okay. John was here. Ninth grade is here. Subject teachers are here. Does anyone know, is Sungmin teacher teaching now? Or is she able to come? Minchel was here. Hi, Eileen. Can someone call Esther? Okay. Okay. And Minchel, is he coming back? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get started. Whoever's not here can watch the recording. Thank you for coming, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about de-escalation. So actually, I'm not going to be teaching you much stuff. It's going to be self-paced. If you signed up on the IRIS Center, there are modules. I'm going to show you how to access it and what you need to do. But I am going to just give you a brief overview of why we are doing this and how you can learn some more. So this is how we can address challenging behavior, which we will come across as teachers. And so I think it's really important to know this cycle of escalation. If we are aware of it, it helps us to better prevent it and address it when we need to. So we are going to look at why we need this training, how we'll learn it, and what is a crisis plan. So our students can become dysregulated for a variety of reasons. Dysregulated means that they cannot control their emotions. And so you may have experienced this so far being a teacher, where a student becomes agitated and it builds and builds and builds, and then there's like an explosion. Maybe they get really angry, maybe they start crying, and they act out in anger. And so when this happens, it can be quite scary, especially if they become violent and start harming themselves or others. And so we need to really understand this behavior and how we can prevent it. And so that's why we are learning about it. And dysregulation it's not only school related. The students can become dysregulated for many reasons, which you will learn in these modules. It might not only be something that happens at school. They could have something happen at home that makes them upset or angry. They might be going through something. So there are a number of reasons that cause our students to feel this way. Has anyone watched Inside Out? Okay. So spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. There's anxiety, and maybe your students might feel like anxiety sometimes. Sorry about the bad quality, it's just from TikTok. Okay, so if you watch that movie, you might be able to relate or understand about these emotions. And we feel these emotions all the time, and our students feel it too. And when they get out of control, that's when it becomes a dangerous situation. And some students know how to calm themselves and regulate themselves, but some students do not know, and that's when we need to put supports in place to help them. It is better to prevent the behavior before it becomes escalated. So there are many signs that we can look for to prevent it from becoming like that anxiety panic attack, and we don't want that to happen, but sometimes it does happen. But if we can prevent it, that is the best thing. So how can we do this? Familiarize yourself with the escalation cycle. So there is a cycle, you will learn about it. And each phase is important. And if you can identify what phase the student is at, it will help you with what strategies you can use to calm them down. So then the next thing is to learn the strategies that you can implement when those behaviors start to escalate. As a student starts to become more and more anxious or more and more triggered, then there are certain things that you can do. So we are going to be using Iris Center, and this is self-paced modules. So if you haven't signed into Iris Center, I can help you after this. But there is an elementary module and there is a secondary module. So you will choose the one based on what grades you are teaching. It will take 2.5 hours to complete it at your own pace. If you have managed to log in, you can go here and I will show you how to find the module. If you have not logged in, I will show you afterwards. So once you have logged in, you will see this page, and at the top there's a search button, and you can type in addressing behavior. And many things will come up. For me, like the second one is addressing challenging behaviors, part 1 elementary. A little bit further down, I think it comes to secondary 1, but they have part 2, but if you click on that, it will also, you can also find part 1. So I'm going to click on the secondary one to show everyone. Let me make this bigger. Okay, so I'm going to click here, addressing challenging behaviors, part 2, secondary. And, oh, no, that's not going to help me. Okay, sorry, that's not right, because when I did it earlier, I could find it. Sorry, let's try find addressing challenging behavior, part 1 for secondary. If you found part 1 for elementary, you can add it to your cart. You don't, but we want you to get a certificate. Has anyone successfully found secondary part 1? There's another way to do it if you click down on this here and you go to resources, Iris resource locator. I think this is how I did it earlier. And then behavior and classroom management, modules, and then there's elementary comes first and secondary next. If you do it this way, it comes to here. We want you to get the certificate for this. So when you open this page, it says earn the professional development certificate. You can click there and then add it to your cart. And it will add to your cart, and then you will just go proceed to checkout. We will eventually do part 2, but for now, just add part 1. Okay, yeah. So, if you click this arrow and go to resources and Iris resource locator, then go down to where it says behavior and classroom management. Click this. Modules, and then you should see the elementary one comes up first. Secondary comes up second. Everyone there. Then click on the one that you want, and then you should see this. But you want the professional development certificate, so go to this. Click on it. My module's completed, so I can't do it. But for you, you should have add to cart. And then when you get to the cart, you just proceed to checkout. It'll have your information. Add to your account. Then you have it in your account. Okay, everyone got this? Okay. So there's a pre-test that you can take, and then you go step by step through it. I'll just show you what it kind of looks like. So they start off with a challenge. So after you've taken the pre-test, there'll be a challenge. Usually there is a video, and you'll watch the video. And then at the bottom, you can go next to go to the next page. Here, there's initial thoughts. There's like questions that get you thinking about what the topic is. And then, so you can always go next at the bottom of the page or on the side. So perspective and resources, this is where you're going to do most of the learning. There's, in this one, there are 10 pages. So you can click to the next page on the side, or you can go to the next page at the bottom. where it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how you can navigate to the pages that you need. Okay, and then when you get to the end, there will be a post test. I think you have 3 chances to take it, and then it will ask you, I think it gives you the option to then make the certificate, generate the certificate at the end. So we would like you to complete this module by the beginning of the semester, so you've got the rest of the PD time. It'll take 2.5 hours approximately. Once you've then got the certificate, please can you email it to Jordan and myself, just so that we can see that you have completed it. Don't worry about your score or anything. So by August 16. And then the second part we will be doing during PD time. Step by step, we'll go together with that. But for this one, it will be at your own pace. So you can do it. You can do it with a friend if you want, or you can do it in your own time. Are there any questions so far about the module and the learning? If you feel more comfortable doing it in Korean, you can change your settings on Chrome to translate the page into Korean, and then all the writing will be in Korean. I'm not sure how good the translation is, but it might be easier to read it that way. And then for the videos, there is a transcript at the bottom of each video. You can just open that and there'll be the Korean transcript. So for those of you who feel more comfortable learning in Korean, please use that option. If you do not know how to change your settings in Chrome, then you can speak to me or Jordan or any tech people who are good at doing those things. Last thing I want to talk about is a crisis plan. Now, I hope that we will not have to use this, but in the event that there is a crisis, so for example, if a student has become so escalated that they start becoming violent, maybe they start throwing chairs or kicking or, I don't know, pulling out something that they can use as a weapon, then that is considered a crisis. What the plan is firstly, other student safety is important. So tell your students to go to the nearest classroom. So send them out of the classroom and they can go to the next door classroom. Then when that will be a signal to that other teacher, oh, that teacher needs help. So when they see all these students coming into their classroom, they must, then you, if you are that teacher receiving all these students, go to the other teacher to see what help they need. Then you can have a designated student or just choose a responsible student who can go with this card, the Send Help card. They can go to the admin office and on it, it will say your room number. So you will need to fill in the room number and your name. Then the admin knows, okay, this teacher needs help. They will contact Samani or Jordan who will come to you and help you with the situation. This is like a last resort. So this is when the student is really out of control and violent. If the student is out of control but they are not becoming violent, you don't need to get all the students out of the classroom. You only need to remove all the other students if that student is becoming violent with others or even with himself, then you can remove others. This has not ever happened before, but we're putting this in place in case it ever happens. And so teachers know what to do. They know that this is what is going to keep them safe and other students safe. I will give you the cards and you can write your name on it and then laminate it and you can keep it in your classroom. And I will give you like the step-by-step process of how to do it once it has been finalized. But this is just in case it happens. So there are some students who need a behavior plan, and if you have that student in your class, you may seriously want to consider about teaching your students what to do if that student does have a meltdown. So there are not many students in our school. At the moment, I can only think of one student who we might need to consider having this plan in place for. And I will speak to the teachers who teach the students. But you will know your students best. Are there any questions about this? No. Okay, that is all I have to say. So thank you. If you want to spend the rest of the afternoon completing this, you may do that. Or if you have other things to do first, then work on whatever is most important. That is it.